Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Grade. Today we'll be reviewing the most recent diamond ship that came out. This actually came out last week. This being the Xi'an, or as I renamed her, Luda, which is actually because she is part of the Luda class. But before that, there has been a couple little tidbits of information regarding the upcoming Russian battleships and also an interesting camo that's coming out. So let me show you what that's all about. All right, so here we have the most recent post for the work in progress page for on Facebook, and we have the top tier Russian battleships. So we have Kremlin at the top, and we have Ekaterina at the bottom. Obviously, those are not the names that are going to be used in game from the actual game itself, but that's how I will rename them. So the top one has 3 triple 18-inch guns, and the bottom one has 4 quadruple turrets of 16-inch guns. But as you can see, there's pretty much no AA on the bottom one at all, and a bunch of casemate secondaries, which are kind of useless. And then the top one should be pretty good as well. I'm very anxious to see how these ships are going to be, and I gotta save up my free XP now, since it looks like they will be somewhat coming out soon. If it's anything like the French battleships, they'll be for preview in the game for about a month or so while they adjust the stats. So if that's how it's going to be, then we'll be able to at least look at them to see how they are, but they might not be out for about a month or two still. Also, I have not confirmed this, but there is word that there will be a Prism Camo for a ship that is not a Prism ship. So in this case, it's for the Tier 9 French battleship Alsace, very similar to the Jeanne d'Arc, which is a diamond ship. However, Alsace is just a normal tech tree ship, but they are providing her with a Prism Camo. At least that's what I've heard. Like I said, I can't confirm it. It's supposed to be for 1,680 prisms, so about 30 bucks or so. And it's very interesting. So let's take a look at that. This is how it will look like. It's very different. I mean, it kind of goes back to the kind of space camo that they have for Montana now. Um, it looks like it's based off of a character. I actually don't know who this person is. So I'm sorry if I'm not cultured enough to know that, but that's how it just works. The camo itself doesn't look terrible altogether. I mean, there's definitely some things that it could do better, but in this case, it's just meh. I will be very interested to see if they are still able to have Prism capabilities. So for Prism ships, you're able to grind free XP and you get a lot more points and everything like that. That's usually because it's because of the ship. If it's just a camo, I wonder if you're going to be able to grind free XP and do everything else like you have in a Prism ship. It'll be very interesting to see. I'm very anxious to see that. Hopefully that'll be out tomorrow, and if it is, we will definitely take a look at it. But until then, this is all we have, just a few pictures and assumptions. So let's head back over to the game. Alright, and here we are back with our ship. Now, this is a very, very beautiful looking ship, and at first I thought she might be extremely overpowered because she is not actually a World War II or World War I ship. She's a post-war ship, and instead of torpedoes, she actually, in real life, had anti-ship missiles. But we can take a look to see what we have. She is a matchmaking tier 9. Oh, there's additional guns? Well, this is new. Interesting. I'll have to take a look at that. Alright, so yes, this is a very new ship. She is a matchmaking tier 9, and she has quite a bit of armament on her. She has 2 twin turrets of 130mm guns. She has 1, 2, 3, 4 dual 57mm AA guns, and she has 4 dual 25mm guns, 2 quintuple torpedo tubes, and I was hoping rocket launchers because it looks like she has them, but they don't actually do anything in game, unfortunately. However, I was hoping that they would be similar to how 037 is, because those rocket launchers actually do work. And even though they are pretty much insignificant and don't do anything, it's still pretty fun to launch rockets. So maybe they'll add that later? I kind of hope so, but we'll see. Alright, so let's take a look to see what we have. We have 1800 or 18,200 health, up to 25 millimeters of armor. Again, it's a destroyer. You're not going to really do anything against others with your armor. But there you have it. She actually has pretty decent health. She's third highest behind Tashkent and Akazuki. And then, yeah, her turning circle radius is actually the smallest, but her detectability is quite large. Guns, as we mentioned, they are 130 millimeter guns. Alright, so I just took a moment to look at the new guns that came out. So the main difference between these ones and the original ones that I'm used to playing with is that you lose a little bit of HE damage, but you gain some HE piercing, which is a bonus. I like that part. However, the AP damage goes up, but the velocity goes down quite a bit, which I'm not too sure about. That looks like it's quite a drastic change. So I'm going to stick with the one that we had first. And honestly, there's not much difference in this one, but this one's just easier. The velocities are the same for the shells. Alright, so guns themselves are actually really, really good. You can kind of play her as a tier 9 Nustrashimi. So you have the same kind of guns, you have the same torps, and you have slightly better AA than a Nustrashimi. So that kind of playstyle will still work here. Your guns shoot out to 12.4 kilometers, so pretty decent. Torpedoes. You actually have the torpedoes with the least amount of damage at tier 9 at only 15,000 damage. So they're almost exactly like Nustrashimi torpedoes, actually. They do the same amount of damage. 10 kilometers, 65 knots, 0.71 rounds a minute. They actually buffed that since the last time I played her. It was 0.67 last time. 1.4 detectability, 132.78 torpedo percent torpedo blood chance, so pretty decent. I've actually had really good luck with these torpedoes. I've had a couple games where it's 200,000 damage, and I've had like 12 torpedo hits. It's really good. Speed is 36 knots, so not exactly overpowered. It's actually pretty much middle of the field, which is pretty good. Let's see here. And AA defense. You are the third strongest AA destroyer at this tier. The ranges are not that good, but the damages are pretty decent. Altogether, you have about, I think it was 111 total DPS, which is third behind Akazuki and Fletcher and Halford, but Fletcher and Halford are pretty much the same, so I just count them as one ship. Altogether, though, this ship is really good. You have anti-aircraft defense or speed boost. You have smokescreen or quick torpedo reload, and then a normal repair. I'm gonna go with the smokescreen. I have used the defensive AA, however, it doesn't work as well as I kind of want it to. If I compare it to something like Fletcher, if I activate the defensive AA on Fletcher, I shoot down quite a bit of aircraft. However, with this one, it doesn't seem that much different. So I'm just going to use the speed boost this time. I do have her equipped for accuracy since she only has the 4 guns, and steering gear, and then main battery defense because, again, you only have 2 guns. You kind of want to keep them. So with that, let's toss her into a game and see how we can do. Alright, and here ourselves a game. We have an Essex, we have 4 battleships, 1 cruiser, and 2 destroyers. Pretty decent game. However, I don't really like this map, but we'll see what we can do. Alright, so your guns, okay, so I do have health buffs and speed buffs applied as well as other ones. So I have my reload for my guns down to 2.3 seconds. Now, the main thing that makes this destroyer really, really fun are her torpedo angles. Look at how good these angles are. These are amazing angles. And her gun angles too are very decent. So you have a lot of good opportunities to launch torpedoes on one side and then move over and launch them on the other side if need be. Extremely good torpedo angles. So let's just start out here. Activate our speed boost. Gun angles are about here-ish. So pretty decent. Maybe not as good as Fletcher angles. I think Fletcher is something like this, but not too shabby either. Quick maneuverability. And it's a good thing we have a carrier in this game, so I can kind of show you how her AA works. And I did try to decrease the sound in-game a bit, since it's recording extremely loud in video, but I can't show you right now, but it's almost at the smallest amount of volume on both in-game and on phone. So I'm not quite sure what to do with that. Alright, so we're just moving around here. I don't know what my current concealment is. I think it's like 6.1 or so. I do have the concealment skill applied. Alright, so there's one destroyer. Should probably start working out on her. Did they fix the guns? No, they did not fix the guns. So the gun barrels are kind of doing this weird thing. They're working on the... Yep. Not pretty sure what's up with that, but that's just a thing that I noticed. It doesn't stop you from playing or shooting them though. As you can still see, you can shoot them quite fine. Immediately get a fire. And you just slowly work them over. 2 fires. And she's gone. Alright, let's switch to armor piercing. Actually get into a smoke screen here. Let's see if we can get any citadels on this Camo. Already got one. Alright, and this Missouri. And then Alsace. I don't know if I want to shoot the Alsace. I can shoot the... I'll keep the next set of torpedoes for the Alsace. And let's just keep working on this Missouri here. So it looks like she's starting to maneuver, so I don't think my torpedoes are going to hit. And so we're going to have to rush this Alsace here. But maybe we can get a fire on her first. As you can see, you're very good with your guns. I'm getting almost 3,000 damage salvos once in a while. We got one torpedo hit. And a flooding. I'll take that. Alright. Well, there is a Frederick the Gross there now. Yep, I have both torpedoes up now. Let's actually try and shoot the Freddy. Let's just put him like that. Alright, so it's time to leave. There were torpedo bombers in the air. Yeah, they're over there. Alright, so they're not gonna shoot me. I'm being dive bombed though. So we're gonna get quite a few torpedo hits, it looks like. And 4, I'll take that. We were able to get at least half damage on her. We're not... Well, we almost out of detection. There we go. Oh, I should probably turn my AA off. We got a torpedo on the carrier. That's cool. Our torpedoes are almost back up. We're still out of detectability. Alright. Make sure we're in smoke. Okay, we should be good now. So we got a fire. Let's just work on her a little more. Then we can go tangle with the Alsis and the Essex. There's still a destroyer up, it looks like. Not quite sure where that one is. There we go. Maybe we can shoot the Essex from here? Alright, let's just keep going. Though that Alsis is coming out. So I'm going to be spotted by this aircraft over here. But that's alright. So you can see how these good torpedo angles are going to definitely help you. Though it looks like she may be maneuvering, so I don't know if those will hit or not. But we're behind the island, so it doesn't really matter. Since we're going to start opening up on this Essex in a moment, I might as well just turn my AA back on. And let's start going to town. Almost 3,000 damage salvos. Yeah, this ship is really fun. I really wish she had been made a prism ship. But we have what we have. There's another fire. She's a really good fire starter if you keep shooting the same target. Yep, 3 fires on this Sussex now. And there she goes. And now what is this Alsis doing? Don't know. Okay, so she's gonna go on that side of the island. Just fine with me. But I don't know if she's gonna come back towards me or turn around for the rest of my team. Looks like she's turning all the way around. So let's turn our AA back off to help us be stealthy. And let's just keep moving back in here. Looks like our Akazuki's gonna go down. Yep, there she goes. Don't know if I want to launch torpedoes at her because I feel like she's going to start maneuvering here soon. Especially when she's being dropped by the carrier. So Alsis base torpedo, or secondary range, I think is like 7.2. We're just going to wait a little bit longer, and now we're going to open up. And there we go. We were able to get our last kill. So let's see how we did. 184,000 damage, 4 ships sunk, 194 shell hits, 9 torpedo hits, 2 aircraft shot down, 1 citadel, 7 fires, 3 floodings, 1 module destroyed, and 12 defended caps for a 6,700 base XP. 76,000 damage was in shells, 67,000 being in high explosive, another 8 in armor piercing, 18,000 damage in fires and floodings, and torpedoes did 90,000 damage. So a good little jack of all trades kind of ship. She has good torpedoes, good guns, good AA, kind of. If you equip defensive AA, it will definitely help you. However, it's just not good enough for me, personally. But yeah, good speed, relatively good concealment if you equip the skill. However, you're still going to be detected a lot farther away than other destroyers. All in all, not a bad ship. I don't really have any complaints about her. There's nothing bad, only good. I mean, those torpedo angles are extremely good. I can hardly ask for anything better. So yeah, all in all, she is one of the better diamond ships to come out. I would recommend at least considering her. So yeah, she's pretty good. So starting tomorrow, we will go back to carriers, and we will be starting with the American line, and we have ourselves the slowest ship in the game, Langley. Honestly, this is not a very fun carrier, but this is the one you start out with. So we'll start with her tomorrow. So again, thank you for watching and take care.